Okay, so here's about where I got in. Here's where I got in. This is looking like an incredible trade. Didn't get filled on all the contracts I wanted. That's okay. Um, I have a very aggressive. It's going at least to the double top if this pattern works out. I don't have a whole lot of belief that it won't. Just very obvious. This is one of those trades that happen a few times a month, and this is just awesome. So I mean, it happens like on this market, it happens 1.5 times per month. So that means every other month it happens twice. So really awesome trade. The indicators just breathe perfection on this trade, and we're looking at probably somewhere between 500 and 1,000 pips on this specific market today, and it may even be a market that's held overnight. I'll find out probably within the next 45 minutes if this is the trade I think it is going to be, and it really strongly looks like it's going to be. So I'll pause this here and we'll come back, trading a couple other markets too in the middle. Okay here. Spent about an hour and 45 minutes. Actually, had some stuff I had to do. Went out and took care of it. Very, very, very satisfied with my estimation. It's about to hit 500 pips in about 2 hours. This is one of the trades that occurs probably somewhere around, like I said, it's like 1.5 on this market. On other markets happens twice a month. You know, using my proprietary set of indicators, and you know, a lot of the knowledge that's been passed on to me also has been able to help me find these specific trades. And a lot of people have asked me, is this an obvious trade? You know, a lot of my students ask me, is this a very obvious trade? It's clear as daylight, okay? There's absolutely no mistaking this particular trade. Okay, so we're right around 450. I'm not getting out of this trade here. I'm expecting it to retrace it sometime soon, but this market has a whole lot left to go up in it. Just really confident. This top one, probably move one of these up. This one up here on top is 800 pips. So crossed over here, missed my. It's kind of interesting. It was blasted up and came back down. So this particular trade, Ray took one out, one of my contracts out, and we have two up here, one here, so we have four. My stop loss got exited out, accidentally exited out. I'm going to stay in this trade for a while because this is one of those trades, if it doesn't make the 1,000, it'd be somewhere between 700, 900 pips, maybe over one day, maybe over two. And, you know, this has happened, you know, several times. If there's a 600 pip one I've gotten, there's an 800 pip move I got on a similar trade earlier this year. So, I mean, this is something that happens frequently. So, I mean, you don't have to be left out in the dark. It doesn't have to be crazy. And it's crazy clairvoyant. In other words, I mean, this is crystal clear. I mean, with our indicators and knowledge that's been passed down to me, you can obviously and distinctively tell when these trades are actually occurring. So instead of, you know, how many times is, all right, so let's say it happens 15 times a year and you only catch one or two of them. I mean, on 6 contracts here, I mean, we're at 13,000 and we're only about halfway through this. I mean, 26, 39, 40 plus. So what we'll do, this one here, just measuring points on this, would actually be here. And wow, you know, a lot of people be getting out here saying, oh my gosh, this is a great place to get out. And actually, That's not true. And the reason it's not true is because this market is clairvoyantly saying I'm going up more here. Not yet. Hang on. I've already lost like 80 pips or so, 40 pips or so from, topping out here. I could have gotten out. You're like, wow, I may have lost 40 pips. And, this is like the experience that you can get. I mean, the comfort, the feeling of like, wow, Christmas every single day. You know what I mean? Every time you take this trade, it's like Christmas. It works out 94.3 times out of 100. It works out. And, times it doesn't, it might cost you a few bucks, but, and in comparison, it's like Christmas every day. Being able to, you know what I mean? How many times does this have to happen for you to get the car you want or pay off the mortgage that you already have? You know what I mean? How many times does it have to happen in order for you to get the things that you need, want, and desire in your life? And, the answer is not many. You know what I mean? And this is just one of many markets. The tools, the indicators, and the way we trade works on all markets, works on all ways, shape, and forms. It's absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to pause the video because I have some other things I got to do today, but I will get back and we can chat about this some more later. Okay. So I want to see how my target's doing. It's getting ready to hit my other target. Doing pretty well. It's 850 pips. The first target here is set at 900 pips. So I'll just put that simply, move up my stop loss so I'm guaranteed at least 300 pips. So first target's at 900 pips. The next target with 1 is set at 130, so 1,030. And the 4 contracts you see there is set for 1,300. Oops. 1,300 pips. And again, I mean, this is not some unique, amazing phenomenon in regards to how often does this occur. Again, it happens 5, 10, 15 times per year. Actually, this one happens 1.5 times per month, which means it happens 18 times a year. 18 separate times a year. And when I say it's crystal clear, I mean this is a very obvious trade. Not just because it goes up a ton, but because there's a specific mathematical, calculatable way to measure the market and figure out probabilities of like 93.4, 94.3, there's a 98% trade, there's an 89.6% trade, and they're very concise, obvious, clear, clairvoyant trades you can take over and over and over again. And, being able to predict and understand the market and understand how it can actually get you to a point where you can pay off your mortgage early, you can buy the car you want. You can actually have enough money to send your kids to college. A lot of people like to trade stocks and still work, you know what I mean? Because when you're a retail trader, there's no benefits. There's no 401k per se. You have to set all that stuff up yourself. Some people don't want to have the headache, so they do this for 2 or 3 hours a day, figuring out precise, precisioned trades that they can do over and over and over again. And this is going to take a little while, so I'm going to pause the video. I'll probably get back to it in a couple hours, see where we're at. Again, how much risk was there in order for this gain? And again, there's always a possibility of loss. However, I got to be honest with you and tell you, you know what I mean? We're able to do it with a minimal risk, and we're able to guarantee our profits. And as we guarantee our profits, if this market comes all the way back down, yeah, we can be sad about it, but we're guaranteed to make at least $8,000 to $10,000 in this specific trade. I mean, how many trades would you have to do this to in order to pay off your home, pay off your card, get rid of them credit cards, put your kids in school, retire? You know what I mean? There's some people that work just because they can't find anything to do to pay the bills because Social Security ain't enough or something is not enough in their life, and they finally can. And that's what's so great about trading, especially particular day trading. I don't do this anymore for 2 or 3 hours per day max. So if I only do it for 2 or 3 hours a day, well, what happens if? I mean, there's a lot of ifs. You know what I mean? But what happens if it comes down here and I only make $8,000? I didn't take 25,000. What if? And how do you know? I mean, really, you know what I mean? Do I have to monitor this trade day in and day out? No, you don't. And that's what the beautiful benefit of this thing is there's no employees to count on, no products to sell, no network marketing, no customers, no nothing. All you deal with is precision-based charts, and it's like playing a video game, but better, because it's a lot more money than playing video games. But the best thing about it is that it's precise, it's readable, it's accurate. And that's what people love about it. It's kind of like Christmas. I know I've said it many, many times. I'll say it over and over and over again. Is trading is like having Christmas every single day of the year. It's like you wake up, you're getting something really, really good for Christmas. You just don't know what. You know what I mean? And sometimes you know exactly what you're going to get. That's a lot like stocks. You know exactly what you're going to get, how to get exactly what it is that you want. All you have to do is write a Christmas letter to Santa. In this case, all you got to do is wait for the precision-based scenarios, which happen several times a month, and take advantage of those. And that's the most beautiful thing about the market, is it's so predictable, so readable, and so absolutely remarkable. I'll come back when this gets closer to hitting my target. Okay, here it is again. We're at about 940 pips. And yeah, I know I was a little brave, so I moved up the target, first target. And some people would say that's being greedy. That's what's really nice when you plan out these kind of events, and they are planned. They are with purpose and intention, and you can tell which are going to work out, which aren't. And there's a higher probability that this is going to continue up. This is actually going to be probably closer to 1,500, maybe 1,600 pips, maybe even more. I'm not sure right at the moment. I can get areas, but I know when the market's moving more up, that's why I move my target up, because it locks in a lot more profit. You know what I mean? And, one of the things you can do too to make sure you're guaranteed profit is you can also move up stops, so you're guaranteed a certain amount, which this right here is a guarantee of 600 pips right here. So I'm guaranteed no less than 600 pips. And so, people are like, well, you can't really guarantee anything in the market. And they're right to some degree, because you can't, how do I know it was here, not here? And there's a lot of ways you can tell. And I mean, can you be wrong? Does sometimes it surprise you? And the truth is it rarely does. It's like Christmas time, you know what I mean? And it's like, telling Santa what you want and get it. You know what I mean? And the market's the same way. It tells you what it wants and what it's doing. And all you have to have is right, proper tools. And you also have to have the proper teaching in order to discover exactly how to make yourself have Christmas several times a year. So we'll get back when this gets closer to my target. Okay, this is getting really close to my target. It's at 1,000 pips here, which is pretty good. Like I said, it hits 1,000 pips with this particular move 1.5 times per month. And if you multiply out that the system works on all markets, futures, metals, stocks, Forex, all of it. You're able to tell and distinguish when there's major moves in the market for several hundred, and there's some ones that you get really excited when you see them. That tell you that it's going to be somewhere between 500 and 1,000 or more, and it's really wonderful to be able to catch those as they're occurring. So this is going to hit my target, and probably it's going to go much, much higher. So I'm actually going to call it a little bit, and I'll move my guaranteed income up to 28. I'm sorry, to 700 pips. So I'm guaranteed 700 pips, and we'll come back and see where we're at. All right, we're back, and this is a long way from home. This is 1,700, and 55. Pips. It's the aftermarket. Here we have some, let's give you some ideas. So we had one for 280 there. This is probably bound to be off by 10 or so. There's 1,000 pips there. And right now we're at here to here. That's right, 1,865. And it went down a little bit. One of my students asked me the other day, how did I know that this trade was still going up? And another clairvoyant sign told me that stay in this trade. Don't really, I mean, you don't have to make something really complicated. That is pretty easy. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to determine that this is going to be good and to continue to stay in. Now it's at 1,750, was up to about 1,865. So we'll just stay with it. I'm thinking another 400 or 500 more pips. I have it about 600-ish. I'll probably check into this and make sure. Again, moving up our guaranteed profits to a point of 1,000 pips. So I mean, I'm guaranteed 1,000 pips from here to here is 1,000 pips, and I'm guaranteeing 1,100 pips. If this comes down, knocks me out, I can say, oh, 700 pips, but you know what I mean. I don't have to monitor the market. To me, that's worth several thousands of dollars for me to be able to have my freedom, to me be able to go play with my kids, to go swimming. I'm actually getting ready to go swimming with my kids right now, and that's wonderful. You know, I'm able to go swim with my kids instead of babysitting the market. And this is in the evening, so I'll come back and we can take a look at it. Just give you some points of interest. And I have my target set for up here, which would be an additional, I don't know, 600 and change pips up here. And, you know, the reason I say that this is probably going to work out is, and I don't have to really sit around and spend all night watching this and etc., is that I can reasonably say that, yes, this is where it's at. So we'll come back to it later, and I'm going to go have fun swimming with my kids. Bye. Here we have, it's going up at up to 2,000. I want to point this out right here. And the thing I'm pointing out here is that it's at 2,165 pips. I mean, these are the kind of trades you want to have, you know what I mean? And being able to have an area, you know, I had no idea when I first got into this. I thought 1,000, 1,200, 800, 900. So you do have to play with it a little bit because you obviously don't want to give back all of it. But I mean, at the same time, too, it's safe, it's reliable, and you know, it's like checking up on your kids. I mean, the further along it goes, the less you have to check up on it. And that same kind of like thing with the market is how reliable it can be. And like how exactly, you know, well, maybe I did know, maybe I didn't know, but you know, maybe I didn't know it was going up to this point, but I knew that it was going for 1,000 pips plus, you know, 800, no less than. And when it gets over to here, in this area here, you know, you see the sideways business, I know that it's going up more here. Okay, well, probably. I absolutely know that it's going up here, and so will you. You know what I mean? Creating your own Christmas each and every single day. You know, and I say that stuff all the time because I really mean it. You know what I mean? You can have Christmas each and every single day. Day after day after day. It's Christmas time, man. You know what I mean? Just come to the market, come and see see if it's the day or not. It's like you're being a little kid, you know. Each and every single day you go to the calendar, you're like, oh, it's Christmas here. You know, go to the calendar, you know what I mean? And the only difference here is you go to the market. Is it Christmas yet? You know what I mean? And you go back to the market. Is it Christmas yet? You know, and absolutely, sometimes it is Christmas, you know, and I don't know how much further this is going. I don't think more than a um, couple hundred more pips. Been absolutely phenomenal, and I'll come back in a few hours and see where we're at. Thanks. This is probably going to hit my target while I'm sleeping, and that's okay. I did want to come back to you and show you that, you know what I mean, it's definitely, I mean, you know, in a day and a half, I mean, you're able to get enough to pay off your mortgage, pay off your credit cards, pay off your, just about everything, you know, and that's the beauty of trading, that you can pay off credit cards, you can pay off your mortgage, you can pay off all these different and wonderful things, you know what I mean, that's the, you know, back to the Christmas analogy, you know what I mean, it's, you know, Christmas, every month, and if you trade more than one market, Christmas is every single day. Every single day you can make it Christmas. And this is going to hit my target before I go. I did want to show that, you know, here we have, you know, decent chunk of change. And let's find out what the pips are. I'll be right back. Okay, so our pips are 2,500. I'm going to bed. I don't know. This looks like it's going to do a retracement, so I'm going to lock in about 2,000 pips here. So everybody's like, oh, everybody likes guarantees, so I'm going to guarantee myself a paycheck. And what I'm going to do is just go to bed, because this is obviously going to run into my target. My target is set for, let me see here. My target's set for 2,700 pips. I just think that's absolutely awesome. What I find even more incredible, though, to be really honest with you, is not that 2,700 pips is possible, but the fact that I did it. You know what I mean? It's like climbing your own mountain. You know what I mean? And you know, it feels really good that, you know, this is definitely going to hit it. And I'm guaranteed at least 2,000 pips. So, I mean, if something goes wrong, which, you know, it ain't happening. It's definitely going to reach my target and probably maybe a couple hundred more pips beyond it. But I'm pretty happy with my target as it is. But, I mean, 2,700 pips is just like, wow. And not to say to brag, but I mean, you know, there's so many people out there talking about, you know, wow, you get 20 pips a day and, you know, you're off to the races. I mean, there's so much mediocrity out there in today's market. And yeah, you can make some money with 20 pips, but I mean, why play with 20 pips when you play 200 or 300? You know what I mean? Why would you learn from someone to teach you how to trade 20 pips? I mean, would you be more likely to have someone train you how to trade 20 pips and actually make it there? God forbid if you made it there. If you were great, maybe do 30 or 40. Or you go and train with someone who can teach you how to do 2,000 pips, and you know, if you just suck wind and you don't make it all the way, you know what I mean? Is it more practical for you to get 20 or 50 pips if you don't do it right? You know, and that's a real thing people got to ask themselves. You know, is this really realistically accomplishable for everyday people? Absolutely, it is. But even more than it being accomplishable by everyday people, even if you suck, okay, if you're terrible at this. You know what I mean? What if you can only do 10% of what I'm doing? And yeah, you know, maybe I do have, you know, great background, great mentors, great tools. I have all that stuff, you know, which is a lot of stuff that's going good for me. But the real question is if you suck wind and you learn from someone teaching 20 or 30 pips a day and you don't do very good, I mean, what's going to happen? You know what I mean? You're going to do nothing, or worse, you're going to lose money every day. You know, you learn from somebody who's doing 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pips in a day, you really suck at it. I mean, even if you just take a look at it from this perspective, what if you only could do 5%? You know, 10% would be 270, right? So 5% would be 135 pips. If you can only do 5% of what I did. And that's really what's important, what people got to really think about. You know what I mean? Where you're learning from and where you're getting your knowledge from. You know what I mean? And, you know, do I get 2,700 pips every single day? Absolutely not. You see me doing it here, you know what I mean? I've done it in other videos. I mean, you can go look around. I mean, it's not like, you know, this is some kind of magic. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. You know, not only do I know what I'm doing, I'm stellar. You know what I mean? And if you're going to learn something, by all means, You know what I mean? And the reason I do this from the bottom of my heart, someone was able to share this to me, and I want to share it with you. And beyond that, I also want to know that people, you can learn from someone that's stellar, or you can learn from a loser. You know what I mean? And me personally, I'm always looking for the guy on top. And the better I become, the less and less people there are that are better than me. And, and that's not to brag, but to really push this point forward that I'm constantly seeking the best people to work with, and you should too. And you should too. And the reason why is because if you do suck, if you're good, maybe do half what I do. If you're mediocre to okay, maybe do 25%. But if you suck and you only do 5-10% what I do, you're still going to be successful. Or if you learn from mediocre people or people that are, somewhere in the middle of the road, guys that talk about making a couple $100 a day, and they want these parades in their honor, make a couple $1,000s a day, and they want parades in their honor. They're mediocre, and it's not to say that they're bad people or they're not great trainers, they can't teach you, but they're very limited in what they can teach you, and that's really why you want to go find someone who's stellar, and it doesn't matter if it's me or if you go and find someone else. Most of the people I know that are stellar either don't train people or hate new people, you know what I mean? And everyone starts from somewhere, and a lot of times I'm trying to find new ways to bring this to the market in a more reasonable economics, because it is a hard economy and people spend tens of thousands of dollars, and we're trying to change that, and we're doing that by have student teaching and having people who I've brought through the ropes, train other people how to find these trades, how to actually be successful in determining and reading the market, being successful and feeling great, and being able to have every day and have every month have a Christmas. You know what I mean? Every single month they want to have a Christmas, and I don't blame them. And someone that's mediocre or okay, they're not going to let you have Christmas more than once a year, if ever. You know what I mean? It's like Christmas is like this dream. You know what I mean? But, what I really want to put together and I'm accomplishing now is bringing people together so they can have Christmas every day. Christmas every month. You know what I mean? Be able to pay off that house. Be able to take care of the bills. You know what I mean? Like, you want to go out to eat? I don't know, man. There's been times in my life, and a lot of people don't know this, but, there was a time in my life where I was living in my mother-in-law's basement. You know what I mean? And probably the most humbling thing in the world is being married and living in your mother-in-law's basement. Couldn't find work. I'd work these odd, weird jobs, just about anything to put food on the table. And so I was doing something, trying to accomplish something, and I was so fortunate to have a friend of mine bring this across to me and say, hey man, you need to change your life. This is what I'm doing. And about a year later, I was teaching him how to trade because, I got this thing. I went out and found the best and the most stellar people in this industry, people making 6-7 figures each and every single year. Didn't matter if the economy was crashing or booming. They're making money in 2000. They're making money in 2008 when the whole market was blowing up. One of my mentors made $18 million that year. Another one of my mentors made $13 million. The same year everybody's crying about the crisis. These guys are raking into the cash. And that's my dream, is to deliver that to you. You know what I mean? And my schedule is entirely booked, but I am trying to find new ways to get to more people. You know what I mean? And we're going to come up with new products, so I don't have to handhold with people. We will have that available for VIP folks, but we want everyday folks to be able to get this thing, because my dream is making America great again. My dream is about making our country full of cash, full of people with money. We've been robbed from Wall Street, we've been robbed from countries around the world. It's about time we get our money back, and there's no other way to get our money back other than learn a skill that's going to make our Christmases seem like every day. And I'm going to go to bed. I just had to say that because I really felt like I really want to connect and really share some things about myself with some people, and that life isn't always great. My life, I didn't always know how to find these things, but now that I do have them, I do want to share them with other people, and it's just because that's what's in my nature. My dad and my mom, they always taught me to share what I knew with other people and educate other people around me, and some of my best mentors in my life, were there for me, when I was really unteachable, when I was really frustrated, and they were there for me, and that meant a lot. And likewise, we want to be there for you, all of us. We're putting together an inexpensive monthly membership so you can get started with training with us, for just about $9 to $7. That's affordable to everyday people. I mean, you go to college, I mean, you have a college education that charges you $80,000, and at the end of it, you're either unemployed or working at McDonald's or Burger King in most cases. And if you do find a job after an $80,000, $100,000 education, you're usually making $30,000 to $50,000 a year, which, I mean, beats bankrupt or zero, and I've been at both. But, it doesn't really make sense that you won't spend money to educate yourself to have, Christmas. You know what I mean? I'm talking about Christmas, 30, 20, 40, $50,000 days, and be able to have Christmas on a regular occurring basis. Every day waking up and making a few $1,000s is not unheard of in the trading industry. And that Christmas can be yours. And I know that if I can do it, anyone can. I dropped out of high school, then I dropped out of college. Never really finished much of my life. And I was able to find this and really make a go of it. And I think you can too. And again, if you learn from someone who's stellar versus mediocrity, I mean, you're going to find success. And that's the difference between working with stellar and working with mediocrity. I wish you the best, and God bless everybody. And I'll conclude the trade in the morning, and I'm almost damn sure it's going to make it to my target plus. Okay? So have a great day. Bye.